Hello, it's Betty here. I'm in a hospital bed here at the Barts Hospital. They've given me a private room, which the first time ever, which is a great luxury as opposed to being on the general public ward. I think that's because of the COVID, obviously the COVID-19. And in actual fact, the critical care ward is upstairs, 2 floors up. Very tragic to hear that it's almost full at the moment, and even more tragic, they are having deaths there daily. However, they did give me the test when I came in, but I got the results yesterday, which was a relief to be told I am negative. However, the reason I came in here was following on from my last, the third round of my immunotherapy drugs, nivolumab and ipi. I had them on the Wednesday the 24th, and by this Saturday I had this horrendous head pain, which was prolonged and continued until, well, it didn't actually stop. Started to take painkillers and it would just relieve it for a while and then it would come back. But by Monday they weren't, so I phoned the emergency hotline and they said, just rest, take stronger, take codeine. I had codeine from a year ago when I think they'd sent me home with him after surgery and I had never any need to take them. So now I was taking 2 codeine, 2 paracetamols. That was Monday night, I got no sleep, and by Tuesday morning I couldn't even keep the tablets down. So I phoned again and the oncologist phoned me back, described how bad my symptoms were, and she said, okay, pack a few things, we're going to admit you. So when I came to the ACU ward on the 7th floor, they have very good special measures in place, but you are told to try and wear your mask all the time, not only to protect you, even to protect others. That's why I have it on at the moment, because it just seems a bit of a disgrace really, but some of the contract workers haven't been given masks, like the girls that give out the food. Most of the cleaners have them, so the mask protects them if they come in. So anyway, I was seen by the nurse because I had by that stage a reasonably high temperature, plus the headache is part of the symptoms of the COVID-19. Although I didn't have any cough or breathlessness, they did a test, which they said we'd be back in 48 hours. So then when they took my bloods, they realized that the salt level was very low, and also from other questions they asked, they were able to establish that it was probably a side effect of the drugs, the immunotherapy cancer drugs. So the following morning, which was Wednesday morning, they sent me for an MRI head scan, which was focusing on the pituitary gland images. So I had a visit from a senior consultant oncologist in the afternoon, and he explained that the drugs had inflamed the pituitary gland and also the area around it. That's why I was suffering from this severe prolonged head pain. So he said, we're going to immediately put you on steroids. Following that visit then, I had a visit from the Icradine, I think, the unit. They're to do with all the hormones, and 3 doctors came from there, one of them senior doctor, and she explained to me that they can see that there's, because of the salt levels in my blood, they can see that there's possibly been some damage to the hormones won't be working properly. Hopefully they've caught it in time that it hasn't affected the thyroid gland. So they took had to provide urine tests and all. And they said they'll be working closely now with oncology to establish if the steroids they've put me on are suitable. In the meantime, my next treatment, which was going to be my third treatment, that's going to be postponed. And I found out this morning that it's postponed possibly till about 12th of May, but they're going to confirm that date with me. So by the evening, oh yes, on Tuesday evening, that was one of my worst nights, because when they then admitted me, they brought me to this private room, and of course I was over the moon, you know. And well, I wasn't over the moon that time, but I was relieved, you know. And then they gave me Oromorph for the pain, but of course I immediately vomited it up. And so I just said, surely you've got something else. And then the charge nurse advised to give me a morphine injection. The first time in my life I've had a morphine injection. And I would say that really helped. And I managed to get some respite in a couple of hours sleep. And then later in the night they gave me another one. And then it was the following day that I went for the head MRI scan. On Wednesday evening, the nurse came. She said, these tablets are your steroids, Elizabeth, because that's what I'm called here. Everybody in Ireland, or some of my friends, call me Betty. So, Elizabeth, she said, these are your steroids. Swallow these in front of me. Anyway, that was about 6 o'clock after I had my supper, which I didn't really eat anyway. And that was, yes. And then by 8 o'clock, the pain had gone. A miracle. The pain, not just some of the pain, all of the pain. I really couldn't believe it, you know. And I'd heard about steroids being this miracle drug. All during the night, I was pain-free. I was so happy. And then the following morning, of course, they visited me, the various doctors, etc., and I told them. And so fast forward, that is really what has happened. And now it's Thursday and I'm being discharged. So, of course, I'm happy to be going home and happy that my COVID test proved negative. So I will go forward because with the treatment, because now I know that I can rely on steroids, and hopefully I'll never have to experience that horrific head pain again. I would have to say, though, that I feel that because I met a woman, I'd never met anybody here on my many appointments or at the Royal London, anybody that had been going through the same journey as me. But I met a lady when I was having my last treatment on Wednesday the 24th, because she was having her treatment in the same room with me. And we got chatting, and she told me she had just her melanoma journey actually practically at 90% mirrored mine. And she told me that she had a horrific time after the third treatment, even after the second, but she proceeded with the third, and then she was hospitalized and put on steroids. But the good news is that when she finished the fourth treatment, it was successful and her malignant tumor had gone in her thigh and groin and lymph nodes, the same as mine, that had completely gone, whereas like me, the pembrolizumab that she was on for a year was unsuccessful. So I suppose there's a light at the end of the tunnel at the day, but she did say because the drugs did so much damage to her pineal gland and her thyroid gland, they're not working now. So she's on one particular drug. which she'll be, I think it's a steroid, which she'll be on for the rest of her life. She was only 45, but she said, I'm happy, I'm still alive. So, just bear with it. So hopefully that will be me going forward. In the meantime, I wish you all to be safe during this time, and I want to sing you a little song because I feel so happy to be pain-free. So it starts with this. Well, you probably won't hear it very well under the mask. I sort of made it up. I sing because I'm happy. I sing because I'm pain-free. I sing because I'm happy, because the Lord watches over me, and you too. God bless. Bye for now.